Okay, dear students, today we'll start new chapter that is fiber to fabric. Today we'll start new chapter that is fiber to fabric. See, dear students, first of all, we need to understand what is a fiber. First of all, you must understand what is a fiber. Basically, fiber is a very long but thin strand. Very long but thin strand is known as fiber. Basically, fiber is flexible. Basically, fiber is flexible. Fibers are being spun. Many fibers taken together and are being spun or twisted to make a thread or a yarn. We spun or spinning process is being done from fiber. We make thread or yarn, and then by knitting and weaving we prepare a cloth that is known as fabric. Cloth that is known as fabric. In a simple language, we can say that fibers are the building blocks of any cloth or a fabric. Fibers are being spun to make yarn, and from yarn, by weaving and knitting process, it is being converted into cloth. So, what are fibers? Fibers are very thin strands and very long, and they are flexible. See, my dear students, already we know about fiber. In sixth grade, we have done fiber which we get from the plants. See, any fiber which we get from nature, fibers which we get from nature are called natural fibers. If I say we get from nature, it means we will be getting that fiber either by animals or we will be getting that fiber either by plants. Very important. In 6th standard, we studied about the plant fibers. They were natural fibers. Plant fibers example is jute and cotton. In this chapter, we will be studying about animal fibers. So, what are animal fibers? Animal fibers are fibers which we get from animals. See, my dear students, most common animal fibers are wool and silk. We will be studying about wool and silk. In this chapter, we will be studying about wool and silk fiber, a very thin strand which is used to make yarn, and by yarn we prepare fabrics. The natural fiber which you get by plants and animals are called as natural fibers. Most important plant fibers we studied in 6th standard, that were jute and cotton, and in this we will be studying about animal fibers. Two most common animal fibers are wool and silk. Okay, my dear students. Basically, first of all, we will go through wool, and after that, we will go through silk. Okay. See, my dear students, most common animal fiber is wool. Very important. Wool is most common animal fiber. Most common animal fiber. Very important. We get this from animals. Many animals are giving us food. Examples are camels, sheep, cows such as yak, alpaca, pashmina goats, rabbits, etc. Very important. Wool. Wool is the most common animal fiber. Very important. We get wool by many animals such as camels, sheep, cows, yak, alpaca, pashmina goats, rabbits. Okay. See my dear friends. Most commonly we are getting wool from sheep. If someone say what are wool, we can say wool is basically the hairs. Hair present on sheep body. Very important. Hairs present on sheep body, or we can say wavy or curly hairs. Very important. I am using the term wavy or curly hairs present on the body of a sheep. On the body of a sheep, then these hairs are known as wool. Very important. This is known as wool. See my dear students, there is a long process. We does not, if we are wearing any shawl made up of wool, it doesn't mean it is directly made from directly taken hair and the shawl will be ready on the body. No, basically there are many set of procedures. There are many set of procedures or a fixed process. Following that process only we get wool. So okay, now we will see production of wool. My dear students, in production of wool, foremost thing we have to do is rearing and breeding of sheep. I am taking example of sheep because this is the most common, and myself I have many times seen these sheep present in the field nearby your areas and countryside people. See my dear students, first of all, you need to understand what this word rearing means. Rearing means to make the sheep's pet, to take care, most important, take care, give shelter, feed them, all the things. Rearing is the process in which we give shelter, feed the sheep, take their care. All these processes all together are known as rearing of sheep. Very most common rearing you might have seen animal husbandry. You might have seen tabelas, cow sheds prepared. The owners of those cows, they daily feed them, they water them, they take their care. If there is any disease, they get them medicines. All this whole set of process is known as rearing. So most important, you if you want for protection of wool, first of all we need to do rearing. Rearing of sheep is mostly done in countryside. You will not get sheep commonly in cities. You may somewhere get cows, but you will not be getting any sheep. Why? Because sheep require a large area to move and eat the grass. Second thing is breeding. If I am talking about breeding, I will be letting you know about selective breeding. Okay, I will just explain you what is selective breeding. If you want to get wool, that is production of wool, first of all you need to do rearing and breeding. Rearing means to take care, give shelter and feed them. What does this breeding mean? Breeding means, see, if there are two sheep, this is sheep 1 and this is sheep 2. This sheep 1 is having very small fur and this sheep 2 is having very beautiful and long fur, means hairs. See my dear student, if this sheep becomes parent, if this sheep is allowed to do the mating process, then the sheep I will be getting, will also be having greater chances of having long and beautiful hairs. Yes or no? This is only known as selective breeding. What is selective breeding? There are many sheep. The good sheep. Basically, the good sheep is taken, selected, and the good sheep is made parent. Why? because if it is male parent, then the offspring will also be healthy and having good heads. That's why they do the selective breeding. This is only the selective breeding means to allow the mating of good parents and get a good offspring. So for the production of wool, first of all you need to do rearing and breeding of sheep. See my dear students, after that, after this process, how you will get the wool? How you will get the wool? Okay. To get the wool, we need to follow a set of processes. Okay. One by one, we will be seeing that. How wool is obtained. See, my dear students, if you are having any sheep and it is having long hairs, basically they are all known as fleek. Very important. Now I will not be using the word hairs, I will be using the word fleek. So very important. How wool is obtained? So first you need to do shearing. First you need to do shearing means to cut off the fleek. To cut off the fleek, you need to cut off this fleek and take this. So first of all you need to do shearing. What is shearing? Shearing means cutting off fleek. Basically in summer seasons these hairs are not useful for that animal, so these hairs are being cut down. This is only our wool. This fleek is only our wool. Basically when winter comes, till that time this sheep again grows the fleek and it is safe. Okay, so very important. First of all shearing is done. After that is scoring. Scoring means cleaning. See my dear students, as we all know, sheep do urination. Okay. Second thing, sheep roams at each and every place. Third thing, sheep sweats. Sheep gets its body rubbed with each and everything. So originally this is also having a lot of dirt in it. This is having a lot of dirt in it. Dirt, dust, sweat, its own urine, and many other dirts are present in it. So first of all we need to clean it and remove this dirt. This process is known as scoring. What is scoring? Cleaning or removing dirt is known as scoring. After this process is done, sorting is done. Sorting. What is sorting? Sorting is basically a process of separating into categories. Let's say, basically what is sorting? If I am getting wool like this, few hairs are long, few are short and few are curly. What I will do is that I will separate out the long threads. I will separate or keep them in another group these short hairs. I will separate shiny or curly hairs. So basically what is sorting? Sorting is basically to separate out them into categories. Because when we get the wool, we are getting of all the varieties. Different colors, different length, different shyness. So all of them are separated into groups and that is known as sorting. See my dear students, after sorting, combing is done. Very common process to comb. Combing means to comb. By the help of a comb, these fibers are being combed. When these are being combed, first of all, these fiber gets straightened. They will become straight. Okay. Second thing, even this combing helps in cleaning. Even this combing helps in cleaning. This dust also goes out. And most important, there are many small fibers called as furs and burrs. Very important, furs and burrs. So by combing, even Burrs are separated. What are burrs? Burrs are very very small woolen fibers. You might have seen, especially if you want to know what is a burr, when you wear any wool sweater, you can very easily pick up, take out small fibers. They are burrs only. So very important, by combing, these fibers get straightened. A bit cleaning is also done, and most important, burrs also separate out. Very important. These lengthy fleek or hairs after spinning becomes wool, and we use this wool for making sweaters, and these small burrs are used to make shawls, especially by looms. You might have seen loom and instrument or a machine type system which converts these burrs into shawls. Okay, my dear students, after that, dyeing process is being done. What does I mean by this word dye? As we all know, dye means coloring. Dye means coloring. See, my dear students, most probably if I am having sheep, either mostly I will be getting white colored fleek, or maybe chances of black, or somewhere chances of brown fleek. Except that I will not get any type of fleek, any type of colored fleek. So I will color these to give desired color. You have seen sweaters of all the colors. I can give any desired color, that is green, red, yellow, any color I can give. So all these are known as, all these processes needs to be done. All these processes needs to be done. Okay, my dear students. After they are dyed, these all wools are being done or gone through the spinning process. These all go through spinning process. By spinning, these all fibers are twisted and made a single thread. After spinning, we will get a thread. These are fibers and this is a thread. Okay. So this is the process how we get wool, and this thread we call as wool or yarn of wool. Okay, my dear students. Basically, getting wool in this process, many people are included. Many. First of all, the person having the sheep is known as shepherd, or the person doing the rearing of sheep is known as shepherd. What shepherd do is that they do the shearing and sell it to the factories or industries which prepare the wool yarn. Very important, in factories there are employees. Very important, my dear students. Basically, now we will talk about one of the occupational hazard. Occupational hazard of wool industry. See, my dear students, in any factory where all this fleece is being brought, there are workers working, and especially the workers doing the process of sorting. During the process of sorting, those workers are known as sorters. Who are sorters? Sorters are the workers or the people doing the process of sorting. Basically, in the fleek of the sheep, there is a bacteria that is known as anthrax. What happens is that when these sorters are for a long period in contact with this bacteria, as it is present in the fleek, this bacteria affects them and they get a disease, that is sorters disease. So very important, in wool industry it is having an occupational hazard, that is sorters disease. What is occupational hazard? In any business or anything, any work any person is doing, if especially related to that occupation, if some disease is there, such diseases are known as occupational hazard, and sorter disease is occupational hazard of wool industry. Okay, my dear student, we have gone through this one animal fiber. Now we need to look Have a look on the another animal fiber, that is silk. Silk, silk is a very fine and strong fiber. Very fine and strong fiber. It is a natural fiber. Most important, we get it from animals. That's why it is known as animal fiber. We get it from silk worm. Very, very important. We get silk from silkworm. Silk is very fine, beautiful, very fine and beautiful and strong fiber. It is a natural fiber and we get it from the silkworm. See, my dear student, now the question arises that is that how to get silk? How do we get silk? So, okay, first of all, we will see how do we get silk. How to get silk, or how do we produce silk? First of all, we need to see how do we produce silk. Very important. We get silk from silkworm. So very important. First of all, we need to do the rearing of silkworm. Rearing of silkworm. What is rearing of silkworm? Rearing of silkworm is to produce silkworms, to feed them and take their care. Very important. Rearing of silkworm is known as sericulture. Rearing of silkworm is known as sericulture, or this sericulture you can also say the process to keep any silkworm safe is known as sericulture. So, how do we produce silk? We get silk from silkworm, and rearing of silkworm is known as sericulture. We need to do the rearing of silkworm. Very important, my dear students. How do we get silk? For that, you need to understand the life process of a silkworm. See, my dear student, now I will let you know the life process of a silkworm. In this life process or life history of silkworm. See, my dear student, this is very important thing you need to know. If you will be able to understand this life cycle, then very easily you will be able to understand at which stage we are getting the silk. Very important. Female adult silk moth. Female adult silk moth lays eggs. It lays eggs. Eggs hatch and we get larva, also known as caterpillar. Eggs given by female adult silk moth. Okay, eggs hatch and they give larva or caterpillar. This larva or caterpillar then slowly keeps on eating and becomes a pupa. Very important. This pupa keeps on getting more and more adult and senior, so it becomes adult silk moth. If this adult silk moth is a female, it will give the eggs and this cycle will keep going on. Very important. My dear student, you need to understand this thing. Here is the main thing which will be happening. See, female adult silk moth, it gives eggs hatch and it becomes larva caterpillar. Caterpillar becomes more adult, it becomes pupa. More eating, more adult, it becomes adult silk moth. And again adult silk moth gives eggs and this life keeps on going. See, but listen, when it is larva, at its head, above the mouth, there are two glands. There are two glands at its head. I will just, this is caterpillar. There are two glands at its head, and a liquid is secreted out. As by your mouth you can secrete saliva. This liquid is secreted out. This liquid is basically made up of protein. So now what happens is that basically when it gives out that liquid from the two glands, it starts rotating its head like a 8. It starts moving its head. It starts moving its head to head, and it's keep on going this liquid like this, and it covers this liquid thoroughly. Very important, when this liquid comes in contact with air, this liquid solidifies, and this solidified liquid or strand is known as silk. This liquid solidifies, and this is known as silk. When it fully covers itself and this liquid solidifies and is white in color, this larva is fully now protected into this hard thing. Very important, this white covering is hard, and basically what this do is that it keeps this caterpillar safe. Slowly this caterpillar gets developed into pupa. After becoming pupa, what it do is that it just breaks down in this silk protection and comes out and becomes adult silk moth and gives egg. Very important, when it is in cocoon, this is known as cocoon. Very important. Again, I will let you know. This is the life cycle. Larva, this is larva. For protection, it covers itself from the liquid continuously, its whole body. This liquid solidifies and is white in color. This is known as silk. This complete white portion along with pupa is known as cocoon. Cocoon is our useful thing. This cocoon, if remains undisturbed, this larva will become into pupa. This pupa will break this outer covering and come out and become adult silk moth, and again this life cycle start. Question arises, first it was larva, now it is adult. Why it, when it is pupa, why it becomes protective? Why does it do a protective act? Because it wants protection. Very important, when this covering is there, when it is in cocoon, very important, our silk is taken only this time. These pupas are never allowed to come out. Why? If they will come out, our cocoon or silk will be broken. Very important. That saliva, I will again let you know, but first of all, you just need to understand this process. Female silk moth, eggs, hatch, larva, pupa inside the cocoon. Now it comes out and this process happens. When this larva, it starts creating liquid from its gland and rotating like it, and this liquid fully covers this larva. This liquid now solidifies and becomes cocoon. Cocoon gives protection to pupa, and this pupa now gets more adult and becomes adult silk moth, and it breaks this protection. Very important, my silk is being taken here only. Now we will see how silk is taken. How silk is produced. Silk production. See my dear students, eggs are here, eggs hatch and give larva or caterpillar. Larva or caterpillar is being given mulberry leaves. It is one of the best diet which can be given to any silkworm. This is larva or mulberry leaves is being given to larva. It eats it, becomes larger in size and becomes pupa. And after pupa it again becomes adult silkworm and gives the egg. Very important. Here it is known as silkworm. Very important. This is the stage where it is known as silkworm. Very important. Here it is egg, silkworm, adult silk moth, not silkworm. Because I am getting silk at this stage. How? Very important. See, this is our larva and it is having two legs at its head. It gives out liquid and it starts moving its head and this liquid covers this larva. Now this liquid solidifies and it keep on rotating. Okay. This whole thing is known as cocoon. See, if this larva as it has now become pupa, this is pupa. What happens is that to get silk, this whole cocoon is dipped into hot water. So when it is put into hot water, this pupa dies. Very important. Originally in the silk industry, pupa has to die. Yes, few of the pupas are not made to die or killed because few pupa required to give eggs again. So what happens is that the cocoons which are put into now this is put into hot water. So when it is put into hot water, what happens is that this liquid now separates out like fibers. Very important. Now what is done is that any one end of this fiber is taken, and this fiber is reeled. Reeling is reeled. This process is known as reeling, and this complete fiber is got here. Okay, in the reel. So this was the silk production process. Very important. See, my dear student, basically what happens is that when we are doing this silk production, this is a fiber, okay, and one part is taken out. When this put into hot water, these fibers separate out, become loose, and one portion is taken out and put on the reels, and these reels just take the thread out, and this process is known as reeling. See, my dear students, there are different types of silk present in our society, means in the market. The reason is that there are many varieties of silk. Basically, silk varieties. See, dear students, there are many varieties of silkworms. All these silkworms give different types of silk. Most common silk is mulberry silk. My dear students, silk in market is present in both the forms, artificial form and natural form. Very important, both of them are being used to make saris. Artificial silk is known as rayon. We will be studying about this in 8th standard, and natural silk we get by the silkworm. If you want to test that any silk is artificial or natural, there is burning test can be done. In burning test, artificial silk burn as paper, smelling as paper, and natural silk burn as hairs. It gives that hairs are burning, such a smell is being given, then that is a natural, means that is natural fiber. And if by burning any silk there is smell of burning paper, then for sure it is artificial silk. Most important, discovery of silk. How discovery of silk was done? Very important. It is said that in China, some lady or someone was just having a walk in their garden, and she was checking why its mulberry leaves. She was checking why her mulberry leaves are being destroyed. She saw that few worms are there, and she also observed that there is something white thing over there. That white thing flew and fall into the hot tea. Fall into the flew into the hot tea. Basically, it was a cocoon. When it flew into hot, it separated out the silk. It separated out the silk, and she observed it was a very delicate and beautiful fiber. And this is how silk was discovered. Nowadays, China is the largest producer of silk. Even India is also producing silk on a great level or quite huge amount. Silk and wool are giving livelihood to many people. Okay, so this was all about silk and wool. Your chapter is over.